Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third day of Digital Women Awards 2020, the sixth edition of this awesome initiative for women entrepreneurs and creators across India. Before I introduce the topic of discussion today, let me just introduce myself. I'm Raonta, and I head the social and video team at SheThePeople. Our topic of discussion for today is social media selling, where to begin and how to begin. So to discuss this, I have some amazing women creators and entrepreneurs. So let me start by introducing Sanjana Agarwal of Spinning Stories, Nikita Deshpande of Ilana Organics, Harpreet Suri of Mom Wears Prada, and Charu Gujjal, the Mom Sagas. Most of a lot of people still think that social media is just about being social, but today it's also about social selling, right? And when we look at potential investors, employees, and people who will and all these people are literally at your fingertips, right? They are at your access with the power of social media. So one of the key things for social selling is authenticity, being different and cutting through the noise that there is on social media, because a lot of people are trying to do probably similar things that you are to what you are doing, right? So Sanjana, I would like to start with you. When did you sort of figured out the USP for your business, and how did you um, use that as your selling?
Okay, hi Raina, thank you for your question. I'm a curator. So spinning stories is all about curating ensembles, and I personally contact each designer. I personally take every designer on board with each session. So on my personal account, I always explore new talents that are coming in, upcoming designers that have coming. So it's all, and I'm a mother of two. So yeah, that's like a full-time job. And if it's someone says that, it's not demanding, they're not telling the truth. So along with as much time it takes, in my daily routine, I personally curate every single selection, every single designer in me, every single query, every single client is personally attended by me. So yeah, I would say that's my USP. And
Okay.
yes, yeah.
So basically, spending time in content creation, curation, and also interacting with your community on like
Community of
very,
followers.
very, yeah. Nikita, what about you?
Um, yeah, so I think even with us, the way I got I got in touch with my own USP was when I was in school and I was going through my graduation project. Sustainability is something that's really close to my heart, and it was very important for us to have to spread awareness and push the idea of sustainability, not just through skincare but through every channel of our lifestyle. And that was where the idea of Ilana Organics came in, where the entire overarching idea was of getting a shift in your lifestyle and having a sustainable living, as at the same time also telling people what kind of skincare they can use, what kind of awareness there needs to be around skincare, the kind of production that goes when it comes to skincare, and what are the things that as a consumer they should understand and be aware of when it comes to skincare. So I think
Okay.
when it came to our USP, it was about obviously being transparent with
Hmm.
people. When they read the ingredient labels, they should know what goes into their bottle. They
Yes.
should be aware of um, what they are putting on their skin, and at the same time should be a little like a step ahead towards sustainability, should be a little aware and careful about where the life cycle of their product that they're using is ending.
Hmm. Okay. Good. Charu?
Yeah,
Hmm.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm a parenting and lifestyle blogger, Reena,
Hmm.
and I mainly write about my parenting experiences. Honestly, back 3 years back when I started, I had no idea that it will eventually turn out into something that is, commercially viable.
Hmm.
But now when I think, there are so many parenting bloggers out there. There are so many mothers
Yeah.
now on social media sharing their experiences. But what makes me unique is probably that I specifically on twin parenting. Like you have probably have a lot of mothers talking about parenting, but you would have very few people talking about parenting. So I
Okay.
think the more niche or segmented you become in
Yeah.
terms of your content and try to add value and give out some, there should be some takeaway for your readers with the content that you're adding. I think that is better
Hmm.
and that makes you unique and you're able to stand out amongst the crowd.
Hmm. Okay. Harpreet?
Hi, so I started some 4 years back, and of course, as everybody says, this was never the plan. But
Hmm.
I was a concierge service for my friends. It could be the diaper, it could be the travel, romancing, dating with your husband. I was known for all of this in my group, that I lived life very differently. So I just felt that why not I start sharing? So I never believed in the idea that I could be an influencer, and everybody who told me I was a media person, and they all told me that you're cut for this. Get out of this job and start doing this. And I thought मुझे कौन follow करेगा? मैं आज तक सबको ये बोलती हूँ मुझे कौन follow करेगा? So
Hmm.
I just started sharing this that how to romance your husband, how to go on a date, how to decorate your room. In your own room you could do a dinner for two, stuff like that. It just worked out for me, and a lot of women out there who just wanted these suggestions. Maybe they wanted a face or a voice who could tell them stuff like this, and then just diapers. Because I don't talk about diapers. I don't talk about food for kids. I talk about
Hmm.
everything else in parenting except for this. So I think it just worked for me, and people started following me. They realized कि कुछ अगर fun stuff करना है तो you have to follow this woman who will tell you. So I do karo bars with my husband, by the way, and I talk a lot about it, and they're very very popular on Instagram. So it's
Okay.
totally different. It's nothing. I might be a parenting blogger, but that parenting is to do with how
Hmm.
to be a cooler parent. How not to
Hmm.
follow rules. So
Hmm.
this is my USP. So that's what
Hmm.
worked for me.
Okay. Reshma, so we are discussing about how did you figure out the USP of whatever, your business, and
Okay.
where did you go from? Yeah.
So basically, I also started with lifestyle and mom blogging, but
Hmm.
my criteria was never to come into a commercial blogger. I started with some few blogs that were very raw, very real, and
Hmm.
people connected with it. And the first thing that I started was with PPD, postpartum depression, and it instantly connected with lots of moms, and they connected with me. And by that time, I was not a blogger. Actually, I was just sharing my simple thoughts that really connected
Hmm.
with few moms, and they connected with me on DMs and mails, and they told me that they have gone through the same thing. And from there,
Hmm.
I started sharing these small things, but in reality I don't show these parenting tips. I don't show how to potty train, how to do this, how to do that, but I show the very real thing. My kids are little spoiled, I show that. My kids
Hmm.
are tech savvy, I show that. They love dancing more than studying, so I show that. I don't hide those things that no, I'm homeschooling and my kids are studying so much and all. I keep it real. I show what is happening actually in my life, and
Hmm.
that really works.
Hmm. Okay. So,
So my
six
audience, yeah.
So a few years, like about 6, 7 years back, right? Like a small business would be content to have a pretty website and some great content on their website, and experience and do some SEO around that, right? And be okay with that. But today, social media is such an important factor that you cannot ignore it, right? Because when someone goes to a website, they are actually going there with the intention of buying a product. Like if I search, okay, I want this, and then they end up to that website. But when you're selling things on social media, it's like I follow a certain number of people, right? I like few people and I follow them. So I create my own experience. So whatever will appear on my search feed or whatever will target me should be around the experiences that I have chosen. So Nikita, I would like to know from you that what techniques have you used to integrate social media into the selling process?
Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah, even I'm hearing an
Yes, even
echo.
I hear the echo.
Right.
so
Right. So
when it comes
when
to
it
social
comes to
media
social
for
media
us,
for us, I think it's That's still an echo.
I think Reshma needs to go on mute.
Right. Yeah, so for us, when it comes to social media, I think it's very important for the founder to be in the forefront, having a personal connection with the people, with our customers out there who are also equal stakeholders in our brand, and that has been one of our that has been one of the major things that we've been doing since the beginning. So I did not start the journey knowing that I would want to connect with the people who are investing in my brand so much, but eventually it became such a personalized journey that it just became very involuntary for me to come out on camera, to be on stories, to actually answer questions for people. People also started recognizing me as the founder, wanted to get suggestions about their skin from me personally. All of that became like a very inevident part of our journey. And I think for us, social media in that way has helped us a lot to establish that personal connection with the people who have been a part of our journey since the beginning. And it also has been a very, very important tool for us to gauge our progress, gauge our analytics in terms of what is the feedback, how to really work on the feedback, how to improve on our brand, getting the feedback from our community, developing that community, because skincare is, again, it's a very personal thing, and it's very important to know what the feedback from your consumers is. So I think I would sum it up in these three things for us. Reshma, sorry, Rena, you're on mute. Yeah.
Rena, you're on mute.
Yeah, now it's yes, yes. Now, so the host had muted me. So yeah, I was saying that that's a great tip that if you have a business and you are the founder, so you should be at the forefront talking about things. It's in today's world, it's not that good to be. I mean, it's a personal choice, but still, if you are in a business which requires social media selling, I think it should be like you should be at the forefront, and that's a great tip by Nikita, and I think everyone should follow that. And yeah, so from Sanjana, I would like to know that, how did you sort of choose that which platforms would work for you the best? How do you make that choice? Because everybody has limited resources as well, when it comes to the amount of time they can put into doing social media. So they probably cannot go after all the platforms at once, right? So how did you sort of make that choice?
Okay. Okay. So women usually they buy out of necessity or a feel good factor, and me myself, being an enthusiastic shopper myself and selective, so it got very difficult for me to travel from the city where I belonged. So there were no places where we could shop and everything, and there was no designers all under one roof. So I said, why not take this as an opportunity? And that is when I started 1 year back. I started doing with pop-ups, so small pop-ups where I would call for designer wear stuff and put it for exhibition. People would come, and that's how slowly and gradually we started evolving, and the interaction was so good that I thought, why not do it online? And we used to do our promotions online. It was always online, but it was not this thing that we would start selling and everything. So yeah, so
Okay.
that's how. And COVID was a major role. It played a major impact that we started going online, and the response have been amazing. It's very heartwarming. People have loved my curation, and so that's how we started doing it. And now it's been 6 months that I've started selling online, on social media, and it's been quite good. So that's how I started into this. Yes.
Hmm. So, okay. So with Harpreet, I would like to ask that how do you choose which platform to go after, right? There are so many platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So which platform, Pinterest is there, right? And Pinterest has been followed by a lot of moms as well. So which platforms to go after and which would benefit you the most? So how did you sort of make that choice?
राइना मैं ना बहुत lazy हूँ. I just feel that I started with Facebook a little bit here there. I was realizing Facebook is not doing too well now. I think it was a rage at one point of time. And then I was, of course, on Instagram. मैंने सोचा था कि मैं Pinterest भी करूँगी because see it's now it's a huge business now, and TikTok was also there. People were going crazy over TikTok, sorry, but I was too lazy to even bother to get up and make that video. It's too much of an effort at 38. Trust me, no interest, no ambitions like this. So I just felt that I'm going to continue with Instagram. TikTok ने मुझे बहुत entice किया था, but then even YouTube, I travel a lot, and I've been told by a lot of content creators that YouTube is my next thing because I'm good at vlogs. They feel because I speak a lot in my gram. But again, it's too much effort with two kids, and I live in a joint family, and I have a business also on the side. So I
Okay.
think Instagram works for me, and you should always stick to what's working for you. Instead of trying five different things, I'm very happy to where I am, and I belong here. Now Reels came in on Instagram only. I was not good at it. I'm not very experimental with such quirky things. So, but I did. I'm trying. I keep writing to my followers that I'm trying something new. Let me know feedback. I ask them a lot of questions. I use every single thing that I've learned in Instagram. It could be asking questions, polls, everything. They get you involved with your followers a lot. So मैं उसी Instagram पे रहकर I try and use everything possible.
Okay. So Charu, as an influencer, what do you think brands look at when selecting you, and why do you think they choose you, and how are you able to help with their sales? What do you do? What is it that you do to ensure that they get the sales that they're looking for when they choose you?
So I think the first thing that brands look at when they select influencers is that how genuine and authentic the influencer is. Number one, how relatable the content is. Two, they check the engagement rate, like how many people are actually following versus how many people are actually engaging on the content. And three, how convincing the content is. Like for example, if I'm a parenting blogger today, if I'm talking just about parenting, or if I'm branching out a little but I'm not totally going out of my reach niche, say I'm a parenting blogger but I'm suddenly talking about tech and cars and mobiles and things like that. So they do check that how the blogger is creating content which is suitable to for the blogger's niche, and how real and relatable that is. And also, so I think the brands what also look at is that how much value I'm able to add to their product when I'm promoting it. So it's not just about sales, it's not just about numbers, it's how I'm presenting the product. For example, if I'm reviewing a product, I would not just go on talking about all the positives of the product or how good the product is. I will share my personal experience that, see, I've used the product. This is how it has worked for me. These are things that I liked about it. Probably these are one or two things that I think could be improved. I try to give a personal feedback also to the brand, but I also share it with my readers so that they understand that it's not just about all good things about the product and it's like a full on promotion. It's about a genuine review, a genuine experience that I'm sharing and how it can help you. So I think
Okay.
these are certain things that brand definitely look for. And as a creator, I try to create content that is suitable in this way that works for the brands as well as my followers.
Okay. So Nikita, I would like to ask you that, there is also this thing about putting out the right volume out there in terms of content, right? So how do you choose that okay, you have your content in place, but how much should you put out? So what's that one thing that you consider while you were building your social media network with the intent of social media selling?
Right. So that's a very good question because it's very important to gauge the amount of content that's going out. Just because you have a platform doesn't mean you like crowd it with a lot of content, which is not going to engage the community you have, and eventually end up losing the community that you have. So in fact, earlier, I think in the last year, we used to post somewhere close to twice a day. And there was a certain time in like around 6 months ago when we had reduced the posting down because we preferred quality over quantity. And we actually looked at the engagement of the amount of content that we are putting as opposed to the kind of engagement that we are getting in. Usually, when a brand is growing, we have so many SKUs on the line. We have to talk enough about every product, and then eventually it feels like, okay, you are not giving enough attention to every product. But we just found out ways in order to so I mean, to answer your question, we look at the engagement on every post. We again ask our community as to what they want. Like Harpreet rightly said, it's very important to, ask people what they need, because eventually they are your audience and you are for them. So yeah, if we look at engagement, the amount of engagement the content is creating, and then gauge. So I think again, like, we are not to posting twice a day now, but we post twice a day alternate days. So again, so we're trying to meet that exact match of how many times should we post in order to have the most engagement on our so engagement would be the parameter.
Yeah. So, Reshma, I would like to know from you that what are the goals that you set for yourself when you were building your network? And of course, you also want brands to come and work with you. And right, we are all the influencers are looking for collaborations. So, did you ever set your goals in alignment to that? Okay, people will, if I do this, then people will contact me for collaborations. So, what were your goals when you were building your network? Did you look at it from the point of view that, okay, maybe tomorrow, if you want to start a business around it, then, probably you can leverage this current network that you have, or you just went about creating? I just want to understand what your goals were when you were building that network. One second,
Okay,
yeah,
can I? Uh,
yes.
so when I started, I did not have any particular goals, but now, since few months, I have made my own website also. So I am blogging on my site also, because I think
Hmm.
at the end of the day, Instagram is not my personal platform. So I need my personal platform to share my thoughts. And
Hmm.
I started seeing some changes because brands are approaching me for that thing also. And also another thing is that I have stopped being the parts of the mass campaigns, because in mass campaigns a particular blogger is not getting into any notice or something like that, because brand is giving the same campaign with to hundreds of bloggers. So I have being very selective in taking the collaborations. It might be like few in months, but it should be
Hmm.
qualitative, and also the things that I believe in. Okay, the thing is that I can't promote one cream, for example, in the month of like in 1 week. In another week, I'm promoting another cream. In third week, I'm promoting third cream. So it does not connect your audience to you. They don't
Hmm.
believe you for that, because you are instantly changing your thoughts. So it is very important, you should stick to your thoughts. And only then you can make that firm belief into your audience also, and brands
Yeah.
can count on you, on your
Hmm.
accountability. You're accountable to your audience, so brand should believe you for that. So now my
Hmm.
goal is that I will take some qualitative work, and I'm doing that only. And I am commercializing my website also through my blogs and I personally am concentrating more on my personal content currently, because I think
Hmm.
once my profile is well built, then I
Hmm.
think things will work out. It will go in
Hmm.
the flow.
Yeah. Okay. So, like Nikita said, right, that lots of people are able to build that network and get that following, but to bring it back to your business and actually get results from it and get sales done is pretty challenging. So, when implementing social selling, one should not be like, impatient about that and expect for immediate results, right? The focus should be that, okay, let's go slowly. Let's focus on nurturing what we have, our network, and then then the sales will obviously happen once that is in place. So Sanjana, I would like to know from you that what your goals were when you started building this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did not have any goals as such that, I had to have these goals. It's my passion. It's my passion for, I love fashion, and this is what it drove me to do something like this. So, and it's fashion is an individual choice. Everyone
Hmm.
has their own way of styling, dressing. So it was never, I did not have any goals. But the only thing that kept me going was that people loved my curation and they were very happy with it and they wanted me to curate their wardrobe. So that was something that kept me going from, kept me driving towards it. And of course, I don't have an e-commerce website or something. But then I wanted to invest sensibly, starting an e-commerce website and start social media. So this is not what Instagram is my platform. Yes, of course, but so yeah, so this is how it all, and I'm quite happy with everything, with my clients, with my customer base and everything. And they keep, you keep evolving and growing as it happens.
So summing up, I would just like to know some tips from you. So in the modern, marketing world, there are social media is a very complex thing because it, first of all, it constantly keeps changing. The content on a particular platform and what works on that platform, that keeps changing, and on top of that the platforms also keep changing. Then there are age groups that you have to look for, right? That okay, the younger lot is on Instagram, is probably on Snapchat and not on certain things. Obviously they're not on Facebook, and Facebook has their own audience and YouTube has their own audience, and there are so many factors to look in. So what tips would you like to give to budding entrepreneurs, who are hoping to boost their social media selling? Nikita, you can start.
Yeah. For budding entrepreneurs, not just for social media, overall, all in all, it's very important to be patient, to be able to be open to learning and learning from the experiences that you have while you're starting out. On social media, particularly, like I have honestly, I've had a team of people who we work very closely with for social media. Me not being an influencer, I haven't had the chance to actually sit and like kind of know as to how does one start on social media. Social media is something that came along when we launched our products, and since we wanted an Instagram presence, we anyways went ahead and did it. So I
Hmm.
think all of you guys, since you guys are influencers, I feel you guys would be better in a place to answer this question. But for an entrepreneur just to start out, I feel it's very important to be open, to start small, to be learning from your experiences, and take in feedback, and then keep on growing every single day. Yeah.
Sanjana? Okay, Harpreet wants to go first. That's right. Yeah.
I just, when you said as influencers, maybe we could answer
Yes.
this. So that's when I just thought I'll share this that this is for everybody. I tell every single person I meet who tells me I want to also become a Mom Wears Prada or a parenting influencer. My USP is not my body. I am not very good at doing styling videos. I've let them be. My maybe USP is something else. I can talk with
Hmm.
my kids something very cute. So I make that my USP. I see a lot of influencers just to do a lot of fashion work. They end up doing a lot of work which is not very appealing to eyes. Why do we have to do everything? Why could we not just find that one niche and stick to it? I'm Everyone tells me, believe you me, when you see my work, I should get into a lot of styling videos. I'm not confident, and if I'm not confident, it's totally fine. We don't need to do everything. We could just pick one of it and be great at
Hmm.
that. So yes, find your niche and just stick to it, guys. Don't think कि हमें बस अब खाने का भी कर रहा है और मुझे टेक्नोलॉजी भी करना है. मुझे doesn't work like that. People will not stick by it.
There's a lot to experiment in your own niche as well, as we were discussing earlier. That, experimentation so that your audience does not get bored, and There are a lot of things that you can experiment in the current existing
There's
thing,
so much
right?
to learn, Raina. There's so much to learn. I'm learning every day. Every day something surprises me. And from my little son, I learn. He's on Instagram and he tells me such things that I feel that at 38 I could not have learned so much than what he's teaching me. So yeah, we should be open to learning and
Yes.
do what we like.
Sanjana?
Yeah, so for the budding entrepreneurs, I would think, you just need to be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. Like, people think, and firstly, I think people should understand what social media. It's not just, people think it's just live platforms, posting posts, that is all social media, but you're learning so much out of it every single day. And it's not a quick fix, or there's no shortcut to it. You have to be constantly patient, you have to be persistent, you have to have a positive attitude. So all these things, I think it's very important, and you have to have a strong customer base, which is what is social media. Social media is where your customer is,
Hmm.
and I think that's very important. So it's all about yes.
Reshma?
Yeah, so firstly, I want to thank Harpreet for one thing. I saw her Christmas event, and that instantly, encouraged me so much. And at my local level, I connected with many moms, so they were connected with me on WhatsApp also, and they always used to tell me do something for. For the local level where kids can enjoy, and I have never thanked to Harpreet personally for that, but I'm telling this now. Her Christmas event really inspired me, and I started my Mom Life Blue Pink events at my local level in my city, and it went to the 2019 Christmas event, and it was fab. It went so grand. It was so amazing that it's November, and already many moms at my local level are contacting me that is there any chances of Christmas event since it's COVID. So I told them if it's possible, we can do that, or else we can do something else. So I started my entrepreneurship journey from there, actually. Thanks to Harpreet for that. So my
Wow.
events goes with Mom Life Blue Pink events, where I keep small events. It can be at some play area. So I keep some hobby activities or something like that. But my first event was Christmas event, and it was in 2019. And then from there, my entrepreneurship journey, apart from the blogging field, started. So yes, for the budding entrepreneurs, it's very important to know what people wants. And for me, I knew that there are many moms in my locality, in my city, that wanted something very different kind of things for their children. So yes, it worked for me as an entrepreneur.
Raina,
Okay.
it answers that question achievement.
Yeah,
See?
Ha.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Charu, closing
Yes.
thoughts from you. Your voice is not clear.
Sorry, I lost the connection in between. Can you just repeat the question?
No problem. Okay, so basically, you have to, sorry, you have to give a tip to budding entrepreneurs, any tip that you'd like to give.
Okay. So I think I can only share for what worked for me. And if
Yeah.
you're starting out, it's very important to understand your niche. As I think Harpreet said here, you cannot be talking about everything and anything. You need to understand your niche, and you need to know your audience. For example, now if people are coming to my blog, they want to read about parenting, they identify me as a parenting blogger. So you need to understand what exactly they are looking for. It's very important to take regular feedback. And social media is a great platform to do that. You can put up stories, you can take polls, ask for feedback, connect one-on-one with your audience. So I think all of that is very important. And it's also important to stay updated. See,
Hmm.
trends are changing almost every week now. Social media is constantly updating, new features are getting added. So I think it's important to be updated and create something that makes you stand out. So update yourself, stay consistent, and be creative. I think that is going to help.
Okay, great. So, with that thought, we'll wrap up this session. Thank you all for joining in. And to those who are watching, we have two more interesting sessions today. So, please tune in for that. Thank you. I hope you had fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Raina.
love.
For this lovely opportunity.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
yes.
Bye.
It was a lot of fun. Bye.
Bye.
I think I was 13 when I started my first venture.
हमेशा पता था कि कुछ अपने आप करना है और अपने बलबूते पे खड़ा होना है.
1400 viewers, you're actually making a social impact in a huge, huge way.
Every second day feels like something's going to break, and that's just a part of being an entrepreneur. But I think the one thing that I've learned is